Hey guys, what's up? I want to welcome you to this YouTube channel. Of course, you can see the title, Grandmaster Gaming. That's right, because I'm the Grandmaster. And today I'm going to do my review of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This is the newest Uncharted game. It's the last game in the franchise, brought to us by Naughty Dog. And it is quite possibly the most graphically advanced and best game available yet on the PlayStation 4's life cycle. Naughty Dog has brought us the final stop in the Uncharted franchise, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Unlike the previous titles in this franchise, this final outing takes us to a retired Nathan Drake enjoying a normal life with a steady job and his wife Elena by his side. Drake flirts with the idea of coming out of retirement for one last adventure, but just never takes the chance to jump. That is until Samuel Drake, Nathan's older brother, shows up at Nathan's doorstep, telling Drake of his daring escape and the impossible task he must complete within a few months: bring the lost treasure pirate Henry Avery to the hands of a drug lord, Hector Alcazar. So Nathan and Sam recruit the help of their old pal Sully for one last adventure. Like I mentioned earlier, Uncharted 4 is the most graphically advanced game on the PlayStation 4, at least that I've played. From swimming in the ocean, to swinging around in the deep forest, to driving off-road throughout Madagascar, the perfectly detailed facial expressions on these characters, it all looks fantastic. As for the gameplay, this game runs insanely smooth, from the usual hand-to-hand combat to gunplay, and the new additions to this franchise, with being able to drive a 4x4 being able to drive a 4x4 throughout the desert terrain and swinging from rock to rock, fighting for a much more fun and efficient way to get around. It was such a blast to be able to swing around freely, grabbing onto ledges or taking leaps of faith and hoping that you catch the ledge way out of distance. Now onto the villains. In this game, we have Rafe, former friend of the Drake brothers, now crazed over finding this treasure, and Nadine. I mean, she gave Drake a run for his money in terms of kicking his ass. I thought both of these characters served as good villains for the final entry, and I especially enjoyed Rafe's insane shifts from smooth talking to psychopaths at the flip of a dime. Now, what's Uncharted without the incredible set pieces? Every game has its amazing standout set piece. Drake's Fortune, it was the car chase featuring Drake and Elena, and Among Thieves, it was Drake mowing his way through enemies on a train, and in Drake's Deception, it was that amazing plane sequence in the desert. In Uncharted 4, it's without a doubt a sequence in which Drake must take the wheel and pursue his brother Sam as he's being chased by a convoy. From being dragged on a rope by the back of a truck, Indiana Jones style, to taking control of a 4x4 and ramming motorcycles off the road. I was in such adrenaline after playing that sequence, and I can see myself playing that whenever boredom strikes. It's seriously something that you just have to see to believe. It might even be my favorite in the whole franchise. As for my gripes with the campaign of A Thief's End, there's only one major flaw for me, and while I'd say that the storyline proved to be enjoyable for the most part, there is a segment in which it really feels like it's dragging itself through a slog. There's a lot of filler to me, and it felt like the chapters were going on way too long. It began to feel repetitive. Thankfully, once the story kicked back into the gear, the game refound its footing and continued on to a satisfying conclusion. As for other smaller gripes, I really wish we got a final boss battle with Nadine's character in fist-to-fist combat. That would have been really dope as a part of the final few chapters. Now, there is a multiplayer mode in this game. It has been implemented since Among Thieves, but this is the first time I've ever played it. I have to say, it's sort of fun. I mean, there's not a lot to it. It's pretty much team deathmatch, and then there's like capture the flag, and there's another one which I haven't touched yet. But it's fun for the most part. I can definitely see it falling into a repetitive and dull state after a few games. I mean, to me, it gets me angry because that's how I am with multiplayer games like this. I just get angry really quickly and just curse on my screen. But like I said, it's nothing revolutionary. It's just standard multiplayer PvP. But there is one thing that you could take away from this mode, and I have to thank this for happening. I mean, if it wasn't for this mode, we would not be getting to see several amazing sights. I'm not even going to try and explain it. Just take a look at it yourself. This is quite revolutionary.
And I know when that hotline blink, that can only mean one thing.
So guys, all in all, despite some flaws, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is an extremely satisfying conclusion to one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. This is up there with the Batman Arkham franchise. I might even like the Uncharted games better. If I had to rate it, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I definitely recommend it for every gamer who has the chance to play this game. And if you're at it, if you haven't played the original 3, definitely pick up the Nathan Drake collection. It's well worth $90. It really is. It's a good $90 well spent. And it proves for hours and hours and hours of amazing content. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate you giving me a like or just going ahead and slapping that subscribe button. Stay tuned, as I will be doing a full playthrough of Doom starting tomorrow afternoon and also covering the game's multiplayer throughout the week. As for other things coming up on this channel, I'm going to be covering Homefront next week, the full campaign. So with that, I'm out. I'll see you next time.